you want to start reselling online on Facebook Marketplace and you've never done it before, or you've resold on other sites but you want to venture into Facebook Marketplace, I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I have some tips and tricks that I found extremely helpful to the success of my Facebook Marketplace. It's a really great platform. I've sold and bought stuff all on Facebook Marketplace countless times, and it's been amazing, an amazing journey, but there are things that I would have wanted to know. So I'm gonna start with step one on Facebook Marketplace, which is figuring out what you're supposed to post and what you're supposed to resell. This is really person dependent. For me, I love to thrift items that are not really primarily items that I already have or I already own to resell on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm just gonna post something on my Facebook Marketplace just so that you guys can see how to do it. I know this is probably, you know, some of you might be going, I already know how to do that, I don't need help. At least for me, I would have loved to have a little bit of assistance. I would have felt a lot better about my situation if I had a little bit of guidance. So I'm just gonna post this PD&C kind of 100% cotton top. I'm gonna make the title a mix between more niche things and more like general things, because I feel like that kind of blend is really good. And I like to take a picture always of the tag because I think it's very important, because then you get to see, you know, if there's anything you missed, or just like having it while you post, because you have to fill in a lot of information. You have to fill in, you know, details. It is in good condition, I would say. I think it's in great condition, but just to be safe, sometimes I err on the side of caution. A hot summer season ahead. Like you see in this post, I try to make sure I have the full item in the cover photo so that people can see exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I take a picture of the tag, I take a picture of, you know, some cool features. I took a picture of the pocket because it's a cool, you know, cool detail on the top. And then how long the top is. Oof, it's amazing. It helps so much because people will always ask. I added it to a few of these different places on Facebook Marketplace, just like different communities. And I add a few that I've added to before. And yeah, and this is my Facebook Marketplace page. I feel like it looks pretty cute. I try to make it pretty aesthetic. For me personally, if I was starting from scratch, I would look around my home and honestly find things that I don't use, don't like, don't want, and see if there's any way that I can resell them online for a profit. Number two, if you don't want to resell items that are in your home, I would recommend going to charity shops or thrift stores to buy products for a really good price and then flip them online for a profit. I just want to make a note, this is my third tip, that a lot of thrift stores offer like big discounts during their week or their month. For instance, Goodwill, at least in my state, but I think in others too, in Tennessee, they have 99-cent days. So on Sundays, a certain color will be 99 cents. And I think that you should primarily take advantage of that if this is something that you want to do long term. Tip and trick 4. Take really good pictures. I feel like this is something that you hear a lot of people talk about when they're talking about reselling. So unbelievably important. It's important to have really good lighting and a really good solid photo. I've heard from people that resell that you try your hardest to get the entire item in a picture. I step very far back and I try to get a full photo of the pants. As I know when I'm looking for something, if the picture looks a little sketchy or a little bit blurry or a little disoriented, I'm not gonna click on the item. I think some key tips and tricks is finding either a blank wall or a blank, you know, area on your floor to take the pictures. Taking a picture of the tag and measurements. So if you have pants, I would just literally measure the pants and take a picture of the measurement and post it with the item, because I feel like that's super helpful. Trick 5, I know pricing is such a hard thing to do. I find it really, really difficult personally. My number one tip is obviously just look into the product on reselling sites, not where it's sold at Nordstrom for $150. You're like, awesome, I found this shoes that sold for $150. That's how much it sells at that store, but how much does it resell for? That really plays a role in what to price it as. My number one tip is just to look into like Poshmark or eBay and see if you can find that exact product, or, you know, roughly the same product, and see what they resell it for. Tip and trick 6. I feel like this is a tumultuous thing among the reselling community is, oh, I think you should post late at night, or I think you should post early in the morning. For me personally, I tend to post later in the day. 1, because I feel like more people are on their phones, less people are at work. But 2, I mostly do that because I'm lazy and I have a lot of shit going on. I try to post around 3 things a day. Consistency. It's all about consistency. The more you post, the more likely that a platform will promote your items. Tip and trick 7, try to make sure that my Facebook marketplace profile looks like a store. It's laid out well, the pictures are nice, it's all kind of aesthetically pleasing. Trick 8, I recommend not putting your face in photos. I just find that it's better for me personally with my feelings of safety to not have my actual face in the photo. I usually take like a lip photo down I've put my face in photos before, and I've had some creepy people message me, and a lot of men. Obviously it's always men being gross and invasive. That, you know, the product is being showcased, not you, if that makes sense. Tip and trick 9. This is the bane of my existence. You are going to get, once that you post, you are going to get about 1,000 messages of, is this available? Is this available? Hey, is this available? It pains me. And I'm pretty quick on the response. I always go, yes, this is, thank you so much. I have a general response. So if you want to use this, please feel free to, or if you want to come up with your own, I say, hey there, thanks so much for reaching out. This is such an awesome piece. Yes, it is available. Would you like to set up a time to meet up? Most of the time they don't respond, so that's just kind of the name of the game. But your response, your timely response, infinitely increases the likelihood that the item will sell. Because a lot of times people think something's cute, they think something's fun, and they might want it in the moment. But, you know, if you don't respond till the end of the night, they go, oh, I was doom scrolling. Do I really want this item? Tip and trick 10. Being aware of scammers. I feel like nobody talked about, at least to me, about the amount of scammers that you get on Facebook Marketplace. I've gotten so many bots, so many not real people, and some tips and tricks to figure out if this is true. If you've posted your item to multiple different sites. So say there's a, you know, Babies Around Nashville site. You list it on their site, and then underneath your post on their site is, please DM me, I love this item, I really want it. Please, I want to pick it up now. I love this item, it's so cute, call me, right? Giving you a number. No. If someone is not talking like a real person, they are not a real person. And if it feels wrong, that's one of my last steps, but I'm just gonna put it here. It's just, if it feels weird, if I feel uneasy, listen to your gut. It is not worth it for $10, $15, $20 to, you know, risk your safety. Tip and trick 11. I feel like it is vital to never do a meetup at somebody's house or at your own house. Always do a public meetup that is not too far from either of you to drive. I think that I tend to always go the route of, hey, where in Tennessee are you located? I'd love for us to meet halfway so no one has to drive an extra amount. Always say that first thing, public meet. I'm not meeting you at your house, you're not coming to my house, we're not going to a campground. No, we are going to like a Publix or a Kroger. Tip and trick 12. This is a really good one. This is a really good tip. Always try to schedule a meetup like a day or two like around the time that they reach out. So if someone says, I can meet you next weekend, or I can meet you at the end of the week, 90% of the time when I do that, when I schedule something more than 2 to 3 days in advance, people cancel. Tip and trick 13. I heard this tip and trick when I was looking into like how to get my posts to be back up fresh on the page. So it's on the internet. This is not, I did not come up with this. To get your product to be fresher on the page when someone searches an item that's similar to yours, just go in and edit your post and then change one thing. You can literally put an exclamation point and then save it, and it will refresh your page and move it to the top of a search bar. Tip 14. I also recommend only doing 2 options for payment because I don't want to deal with, I'm too lazy, I'm too tired, I'm too stressed and anxious. I do Venmo or cash. Those are the 2 options that I do. Okay, this is a really good one. This is like a duh, but it's also, you know, it's really important. When you meet people, when, you know, you do a meetup, just present well. Look, you know, you don't have to look nice, just look presentable. You know, be really kind, really understanding that this might be kind of weird and new to them too. Being friendly, it just goes a long way with any business. But I try to always be like, hi, how are you? It is, you know, thank you so much for meeting me. Well, you're taking the time to make them comfortable. So just be friendly, be warm, because it might be really awkward for you, but it's also really awkward for this person too. I think it goes a long way because I've gotten a lot of really good reviews. The more references that you have that look really positive, the more likely someone's gonna buy from you. So it's kind of like a catch-22. Be nice because, you know, if this was you, you'd want to feel comforted and not rushed. Like, last tip kind of goes into kind of what we've been talking about this whole time. But always just keep your spidey senses up. If something feels weird, or if you're talking to someone and they're giving you kind of weird answers, short answers, it is so worth it to just have your spidey senses on and to go, you know what, I don't like the vibe of this person, I feel unsafe. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. These are just kind of some general tips and tricks that I just wish someone would have told me when I first started doing Facebook Marketplace, because I feel like these are the secrets that everyone keeps. And then you kind of go like, oh, like, I I didn't know any of this. If you did like this video or if you want more content like this, just like and subscribe and let me know in the comments if there's something more you would like to know about, or if you want more content like this. It's really helpful. And I love making this stuff, so just let me know. Okay guys, have a good day. Bye!